Welcome to Pinhole Quilting, Pinhole Live from Harmony Quilt Company. This is Natalie Dyer's quilting studio. We're down here in beautiful Chipping Sodbury, absolutely gorgeous area, and we're delighted to be having spent the whole day here with Natalie and her mum, who work at the quilting studio. Yesterday Pete set up the latest long arm in Natalie's studio, so we hope that you can join us for this Facebook Live. I've just gone live. I didn't do any advertising, so hopefully we'll pick up a few people. And we normally start at 3 o'clock, and our Facebook Live on Fridays at 3 p.m. is where we can show you some of the aspects of long arm quilting and what we do at Pinhole Quilting. Now, a couple of weeks ago we were at Festival of Quilts at the NEC, and we were very busy. It was lovely to see so many of our existing customers and also meet new customers. And it was a fabulous show. We thank the organisers, Upper Street Events, Immediate Live, and also Handy Quilter. We had over from the States, we had Gina Simbiida and Chuck, who's just left as the Business Development Director and replaced by Amber, along with many of our engineers and some of our customers who helped us out on the Pinhole Quilting stand. Thanks especially to Linda Jackson and Abigail Sheridan de Graaf, who did a fantastic job in our Handy Quilter classroom with the, let's see, 7 Amaras and 2 Moxies in our Handy Quilter classroom last week at Festival of Quilts. So this week we planned to do this installation with Natalie quite a few months ago, and Natalie's just got a Simply 16 that she's going to rent out. So she's been doing... Hi, do you want to go in? No, that's all right. It's okay. So she's been doing quilting for other people on her Handy Quilt Amara. The Amara is a 20-inch long arm, and she's got Pro Stitcher on it. So she's extended what she's got. So let's go and have a look at Natalie's quilting studio. So you come through these gates, you can park up in the car park over here. And it's a really welcoming, we've had a real laugh actually, I have to say, today with some of the customers who've been here. We're just going to walk into this, some ladies who've just come along to do sit and sew. Here we go, this is our the area where you can come and do classes with Natalie. She runs a range of classes, and you can come and sit and sew. And she also sells her kits and fabric from here as well. It's a lovely space. It's a really beautiful area, and there's examples of all the quilts, some of the quilts that she's done. She does bag making kits as well. So Chipping Sodbury, Harmony Quilt Company, and Natalie got a first full computer guided long arm machine quilting in 2019. And here's an area where husbands, or you can sit and have some lunch and a drink. And here we go into the quilting studio. So there's lots of people in here, and Natalie's demonstrating to some of her customers how the Simply 16 works. So we've got quilting from the front on this side. We've also got quilting from the back with the pantographs, and people having a really good go. So this is late on in the day. We've been doing demonstrations all day, and we've been giving people the opportunity to have fun on the Simply 16. So the way it'll work is that Natalie will rent out time on the machine. She'll do 2 half-day sessions, 2 sessions of half-day each rather, or you can rent the whole day. And she'll set it up with you so you can take the machine on or off. And looking at the, it's quite interesting. This room here used to be something to do with slot machines and pinball machines or something. So we've got this really interesting mirrored ceiling. So down the far end is the Amara.
I forgot to go to the Festival of Quilts. That's Thursday.
So here we've got the Amara. She's got this quilt on here at the moment, absolutely beautiful quilt.
This is hand stitched.
Yeah, this is a hand stitched English paper piecing, traditional hexagon, grandmother's flower garden, and Natalie's stitching it on the computerised Handy Quilter Amara. So she does some lovely work on the Amara, which basically helps people finish off their quilts. But on this, you'll be able to finish your own quilt. So instead of somebody else finishing it for you, and look, we've got who's on the machine at the moment? Martha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's lovely. There we go. Fantastic. Well done.
You're a film star now.
You are.
Oh, we're still
There's a
running.
lot of
You
stitching
did a
going
great
on
job
today.
there. Great job.
Right, and next.
Yeah. So, do you want to have a go? You show us how it's done. Do you
He did his name.
want to have another go?
Barbara, have you had a go?
Yeah. Go on. Go on. Go on.
No.
You sure? That was.
No, Sarah.
Come on then. Just have a go. See how easy it is to do it from this side. Come on this side first. Here we go. We'll do the. So this is free motion.
And it went, it was pretty hard to control.
Okay. Well, here we go. So just you don't have to press anything. Just move the handlebars and just do some swirls. Maybe do a star. It's like drawing. There you go. No prior experience required. You see? That's very good. It's great. So, easy to use. Okay. Easy to control. Press stop when you're ready. So, did you have a go from the back? No. Do you want to have a go? Yes. I'll show you how we do that. Okay. So let's just. I'm going to bring up the thread. If you go around that side, and I'll meet you around the back. So quilting from the front here, and then we can do quilting from the back of the machine as well. So, if I just show you, I'm going to get you started. A little red dot. So what we do, we've got the same
Really get more
handlebar
live
controls.
than this on Facebook. Here we go.
So basically you're going to finger trace to get to know the design first. So use that to kind of work out where your stops and starts are. By stops and starts I mean the places where you can rest.
So literally finger trace.
Yeah, literally finger trace. It kind of helps with your muscle memory as to where that design goes. We recommend doing this with any new design, and particularly with pantographs. That's it. And kind of pause when you get to those little points. So pause there, and then next section. That's it, up to those points. Yeah. And if you pause, what we're going to do is we've set the machine so that it actually stitches a couple of extra stitches when you pause, so you get really sharp points. Exactly. So otherwise you get a bit of a drag on the stitch. And it doesn't look so good.
Give you the crispness, a bit like turning with a sewing machine when you haven't quite got the right final point for your needle.
Exactly that.
Sharp point.
Yeah, exactly like that. So I'm just going to pick up the thread from this side. So let's just get this right. It's just twisted around the needle. I'm being short, I can't reach. Use my back. I'll just reach over. Just twist it. That's it. Just trying to get it to go down the front. It's just gone underneath the needle.
I love this.
That's it.
Compromise, isn't it, between all of the thinking that you have to do.
Yeah, it's kind of zen, actually. If you get a nice pattern that you feel flows, by the time you've done 2 or 3 rows of this, you'll be dreaming about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the nicest possible way. So what you're going to do is, when you're ready, you press that button, and you're going to go literally point to point. Don't worry too much. You go from right to left.
So I'm going to
That generally helps.
go that way, but
Correct.
the stitching will be parallel to me, so we're not going to go very far across.
No, we're going to do probably back to there, and then we'll start again.
Okay.
I'll show you how we realign it.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. That's it, towards you. I'll give you a few tips. If you do a little bit, then I'll give you some tips.
It's a bit busy on that quilt
Get
top.
busy on that quilt top.
Curves is hard, isn't it?
Think of it as more point to point. Don't worry about following the line religiously. Kind of just think of it as like a movement. That was a woo moment. We had a few of those earlier. That's it. great. That's really good. Woo! You did it again. Good, another room moment. Vocal's good. So what you do is you have a marker on here as to where to stop. Otherwise, you just keep going.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're not looking at the quilt.
Keep finishing that stitch. Keep finishing.
I'll tell you when to stop. That's lovely. Really nice curves. Yeah, when you accelerate quickly, you get that little bit of a noise there. It's okay. And then when you finish this one, if you stop about here. That's great. And press stop now. And stop there. Fabulous.
That would be £300 an hour.
Yeah. And how much to finish the quilt?
Oh, well, yes. All your whipsies are
Yeah.
included as extra. Wow, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, so come around and have a look at what you've done. So there we go. You've got some really nice smooth curves on that. So just check it out. Look at that. Very good control.
That's really very good.
Yeah.
bad.
No, it's good.
Very
It's
good.
really good.
It, like you said, it's about just freeing up to have that motion without necessarily exactly correcting every time you feel like you wander off of
Exactly.
the line. Just
Yeah.
bringing yourself back gently.
And funny enough, everybody has their own kind of way of approaching that design. So whatever you do, just repeat it. Because then it'll be...
Then it'll be even.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
it.
that's great. Thank you very much.
That's a pleasure. So then we can move on and we can move the quilt on. So if I just bring that thread up.
It always stops with needle up.
No, actually, we'll stop it with the needle down. It should really stop with the needle down. So someone's probably changed it, but with pantographs and ruler work, we'd stop with the needle down, so it doesn't wander off. Or if you knock it, you don't have a long stitch.
Yeah.
So you can stop at any point then. So literally at a point, readjust your feet, because otherwise sometimes people find that they're.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also breathing. That's another important thing to keep doing.
Breathing and physically moving your feet.
Feet as you go, and that becomes something easier.
When you move your hands and control and move your hands and control.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get your balance and not have a woo moment.
Yeah, you had a few of those.
I had a few of those.
They were good. Sound effects is good. Okay, so we're just going to move this on. So this clamp here, I'm going to take that off. I'm going to release these cogs.
Do you want me to do this at the same end?
No, actually, it's just this end here.
It's just floating anyway.
Oh, it's just floating. Okay. So now we're going to move this on so that we could do the next line. What I would do is I'd just drop my needle into one of these points that you did, and I'm going to use that for a realignment so that we get each row.
Restart the pattern again.
Yeah. So each row is in the same distance apart. So we use the dashed line on the pantograph to do that.
Okay.
All right. So once we've moved that on, I might move it on a little bit more. And the machine can just move with
The
it.
needle in it. Or
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So if you come around the back again, so we've moved it on a random amount. So the needle is your laser light for alignment. So we've put the needle in that particular position, which is actually on here, that bit there. So the laser is here. So all we need to do is move that laser light until it's actually on that point, which represents the quilt.
Represents the reference on the quilt.
Correct.
Okay.
So the stitch line is this dashed line, and now the next line you're going to sew. Take the needle up now, and you can see, if you look at the quilt, the distance that I've got between that stitch line and the next line is just going to be perfect. So I can take it along all the way to the other end again and do the next row.
And then you'd be finding the same point
Yep.
on the pattern on the top line.
Yeah, I can double check it and make sure that they're the same. If I'd done a stitch row all the way down here, you started probably about here, I think, didn't you? Yeah. So it's about there. So you can see. Let's see. So it's there. Yeah. Yeah. So the ones. This is the stitch line here. That one. That one. And that one.
All the random lines in my weekly sewing.
Yes, looks good. And then the other thing you want to make sure is that you have wound it on far enough. You don't really want to have a design that's too tight for the amount of space you've got, particularly when this builds up. Because this is where all of the quilt gets built up as you go forward. And imagine you've got a really big quilt on here. If you've got, say, a 12-inch design, you might be fine at the start. But by the time this is built up, you might only be able to do 11 and a half, and that kind of messes up
Because with Natalie's other machine, the computerization shows you your points that you can't progress past so that you don't hit the,
That's right.
the bars. But with this one, you have to do that manually.
Yeah, you do it manually. So as you move on, you just check that you can actually sew that
All the way through.
But you'd know what the throat space is of your machine, and you'd know roughly what that build-up becomes. It's about 4 inches that you lose across the sort of distance of the quilt. So what we do now, we can do our next row. So we can start here. So needle down, needle up, and pull up the bobbin thread. Secure it just as you would on the other machine. And then with needle down, and then you're ready to go again. Yeah. No, you go for it. Yep. Just trim those threads. Hey, Sam. That's looking very confident.
Can you put it down so that she can go down there, or is that too much of a gap at the bottom?
I don't think we'd be able to do that bit. We'd have to attach it. You can do a different colour. You could do lime green. And I'll show how we pull through as well. What we'll do, if you stop at the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
That's all right. If you stop at the next one, I'm going to change the thread colour so we can see it.
Oh, okay. Stop anywhere.
Yeah, stop anywhere there. Yeah, on a point, that's good. So what we're going to do, I'll show you the easy way of pulling through the next thread. Okay, so yeah, oh, this one's absolutely brilliant. We used it, this particular colour at one of the classes recently, and the number of people who put it in their basket afterwards was quite amazing. Okay, so just get my scissors.
Knock it on and then put it through, so you don't have to re-thread everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a serger or overlocker, the same sort of method of bringing through. So I'm just going to cut those threads, so you can decide whether to cut them level or whatever. So yeah, exactly that. Same as. So we can cut it here.
Yeah.
As long as it's the same thread that you're going to put through the same size needle and through the same number of pre-tensioners as well. Just put those two ends together, form a little knot. And then when we pull it through, we're just going to be careful of it going through the tension disc, so that's good. And then Pete's going to pull it through. When it goes through those, yeah, when that knot goes through the tension disc, I'm just going to ease it apart. I can do it from here, Pete, if you want to do the camera. So as it goes through these tension discs, I just ease it apart in case my knot isn't as good as. So I just ease them apart there, and that was fine. Now you don't normally go through the final bit of the needle, but we'll go around the front and just pull that thread up. And then we'll really
needle threader on these, is there?
No, but a little, yes, and there's a little tip to threading these up. So there's a little hole above the needle, and the easiest ways to thread up these is to use just cut that end of the glide thread, run down the groove, and it just pops straight in.
They're industrial needles, so they're quite easy to thread, really.
And also the groove is designed to actually help that thread go through the needle eye. Yeah, so literally just running it down and it pops straight through. I don't even have to look at it.
No, brilliant.
Well, hardly have to look at it. Hardly have to look at it. Yeah,
Suppose you'd be there a while.
yeah, that's right. Where's the machine?
So you could probably do so much of this blindfolded now, couldn't you?
This design I could, because I've done this design a lot.
Might breach some health and safety regulation.
This is definitely a very bright colour. So wherever you stopped, I think was. Do you remember where you stopped?
I stopped down
Is it on that bit?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that now. Okay. So securing the thread, leave the needle down, and away you go again.
See, it's all those now you're going to be able to see it in all its glory.
So hi to Carol from New Jersey. What else have we got on there? Sheena, hi Sheena, it was nice to see you at the quilt show. Hi to Val in Calgary, in Canada. Oh, hi Dyer. I was talking to one of your fellow Bristol quilters today. What's the name? Was it Rosemary who was here earlier? It was the lady with the yellow dress. From Bristol, from Fish Ponds. What's her name? Sally. Oh, not Sally Ann, no. No. The person that you were mentioning, who was in the kitchen just now. Barbara. Barbara, Dyer. It was Barbara, who's part of Bristol Quilters. Yes. Emerson's Green Quilters as well. Yep. Right, just stop a second. I'm just going to trim a few threads. Whoa, just press stop a sec. Thank you. Just there's some loose threads from some previous sewing. I don't want the foot to get caught. Now, normally we use the glide foot. Okay, good to go. Yep. So normally we use the glide foot so that it just goes over the quilt, but we haven't got that on because we've been doing some free motion quilting as well from the front. Brilliant. So who else have we got? Oh, Anne Archer from Alberta, Canada too. And hi Sandra from the Netherlands. Good to have you on here. Brilliant. And Carol Watson. Hi from Darwin. Mary Mitchell from Darwin. Nearly midnight. You're up late now. Fantastic. Well, listen, it's great to have everybody. So, yeah, you can stop. No, you can stop there. That's great. So I'm just going to... We're just saying hello to people on the Facebook Live. So we've got Darwin, Alberta, Canada ×2, Carol Mann from New Jersey, and Dyer from Bristol. No, you did a great job. That's absolutely brilliant.
And Jackie from West Wales.
Shall we say hi to Natalie? Where's Natalie? Is she up there? Natalie, you going to come and say hi to anybody? Come on.
I think I probably can't go much further forward, can I?
You can go a bit further yet. Yes, you can go a bit further yet.
Look how well she's done though. Look.
Okay, so did you say you can't put it on the website yet? Not yet. By the end of Sunday night you will be able to.
Hi Rachel from Ipswich. Hi to Jackie from the Stumpy Quilter. And Trish. Yes, Trish, we're back in action on
Good.
Facebook Live.
And Rachel, you're waiting for your new machine. You have that very soon.
Yes. There we go.
So
And here's Natalie. I'll post a photo. I took a photo of you earlier, didn't I?
Yeah, I do.
You did.
Yep. So
Not a very nice photo.
it's a lovely photo.
Don't put it online.
Yeah, Natalie was playing bobbin roulette, weren't you?
I was playing
and you
Bobby
won.
Roulette. And I won.
Yes.
It's not very often I do.
No,
but
it's a really funny photo.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we're absolutely delighted with your Simply 16 here, and hopefully you get lots of people finishing their own quilts.
I hope so.
As well
I
as-
hope so. Look, everybody's had so much fun today. But did you enjoy that?
Loved it.
Yeah.
You loved it. That's great.
Oh, and Sarah's coming to visit on the 9th of October.
Oh,
Right to November,
fantastic.
yeah.
Oh,
You've
lovely.
done a really good job with that.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. Well,
I don't think I'll be outsourcing my services just to.
so we've got our foundation workshops on the 8th and 9th of November, and then Rulers, Feathers and Fills on the 10th. We've got Stuart Hillard will be visiting on I think it's the 19th of November. I'll be publicising it next week. And we've also got some spaces left on Telen Jeffrey's classes, the 21st and 22nd. So it's sort of beginner to intermediate, and for those who are a bit more advanced, you're welcome too, because Telen is able to teach multiple abilities in the same class, and there are places. Don't miss the opportunity of seeing Telen Jeffrey from South Africa, Handy Quilter Ambassador. She's absolutely fantastic at feathers in particular, and if you learn Telen's style, I don't think you'll regret it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
And if you didn't manage to get to Festival of Quilts this year, or if you somehow managed to forget to go to
Or forget to
Festival of
go.
Quilts, no names.
She was here quilting.
I was busy.
You were busy quilting.
Then I will be at the Harrogate Showground show, which is, I think,
Yeah,
the
the Grosvenor
16th
show.
to the 19th of September. That's at the Showground.
The Great Northern Quilt Show.
Great Northern Quilt Show. Be there for 3 days with two of our lovely customers helping demonstrate the machines, Graham on the Amara and Carol again, who turned out to be a bit of a star as well, demonstrating the Moxie with us. So come and see us there if it was too far to get to Festival of Quilts, and we look forward to seeing you.
Great. Okay, have a fantastic week, everybody. Have a lovely weekend and happy quilting.
Bye.
Bye.